So good. How you doing?
Good. Great to be chatting with you here tonight. Excited to meet you and your community. This is the first
Yeah.
time.
Thanks for inviting me. I did hear though that next time we're doing this in Miami, so make sure that we plan for the winter months though, so we can get
I
out
would
of
like
Utah.
that. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we can split our time between, Utah and wherever you may be at
Yeah,
and South
I'm sure.
Florida
I'm
as
sure
well.
you need a break from the heat. I'll need a break from the snow we'll get. So super
For
excited
sure.
to have
Yeah,
you
that's
on.
great. I love what you guys are doing, and yeah, wanted to chat, wanted to hear more about it too. Especially, I'm going to be posting this for my community, so would love to learn more about pickleball and Picklr, and just be able to share that because it just seems to be that, and it's not just a trend. Like this is going to be here to stay. I kind of call it like it's taking over golf for a lot of people,
Yeah.
and it's something that you can use, you can play for the rest of your life. So it's like you do it while you're young, but also you can keep doing it 80 plus years old. And that seems very unique about pickleball. Very unique.
No, you make a great point. From someone that golfed 130 times in 2020, you're 100% correct. The difference between golf and pickleball, golf is very, very difficult to play, and for the most part, it's very expensive. Pickleball is still very accessible, and we always say pickleball is easy to learn, but hard to master. But the easy to learn is what gets you started. It gets you into it with your family and friends. And the great thing is at any given time, you can have a game where you have a 15-year-old to an 80-year-old. I've gotten my butt beat plenty of times from a 12-year-old, and I've gotten my butt beat from an 80-year-old. So it's a pretty amazing just to have that reach in pickleball. And you're right, it's definitely here to stay.
Yeah. What do you think? So why do you think it caught on in the first place? Like, meaning like there's a lot of different sports that, people are introducing or, pastimes, activities, but this just didn't take hold. It's now creating franchises like Picklr. It's creating professional-based leagues. People are taking it to that next level in terms of competition. It's not like smash ball at the beach, which is fun, like great, those types of things. But this is the next level. So why do you see people sticking with it and becoming a healthy addiction to it so much more than other things?
That's a great question. I think for the most part, I mean, pickleball, that people don't realize, has been around since the 60s.
Oh, I didn't know
And
that.
so,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's been around a long time. I think ultimately what drove pickleball to its craze, I mean, during during COVID, a lot of people came out of COVID looking for community, looking for something that they can do with family. And I think that's what really gave it its push. And so I think people caught on to it because it was a sport that historically was played by older people, and now you're starting to see we say in pickleball the Benjamin Button of sports, where it's getting younger. The
Yeah.
the demographic that's playing pickleball the most is 18 to 25.
Oh,
So it's the game is getting faster, it's getting younger, and so I think it's driving a lot of eyeballs because you're seeing the opportunity to go professional. And we call it big pickle, but big pickle has entered the scene. There's money in it now. You can invest in it, and the Pickler was born just from the love of pickleball and the passion for it. And we really saw the business opportunity after that, but ultimately the passion was for the love of it. But the community aspect, our three pillars, is connect, dink, compete. The human interactions that happen every single day at the Pickler is amazing, and it's done through pickleball. We've had charity events where we've raised $30,000 for someone that needed help to fund their cancer research, right? Or to help them out to cover those costs. And so we've had people that have gotten married and had babies because they met at the Pickler. And so
that's
these
great.
human interactions are real, and I think pickleball really does bring people together.
So one thing I wanted to ask too is that it is played by young and old, but let's talk about why is it able to be done? What about it enables you to do it in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond? Like, how do you continue to be able to play? I know injuries are a
Yeah.
factor in everything, but it seems like unless you're going a little maybe overboard, you're not going to get the same injuries that you would holding a larger tennis racket or serving in the same way. So what allows for the longevity in Picklr? Because I talk a lot about anti-aging and longevity in my practice. So what do you see? What are the commonalities of why someone can easily pick up pickleball in their 50s and 60s and beyond and be able to play with people much younger than them, injury-free?
Yeah, great question. I think the court is smaller, so it's not as big as a tennis court. It's not as small as a ping pong table, but I think it's mostly a doubles game, right?
Yeah.
I think tennis 1v1 is a lot of fun and very difficult to do in such a big court. But I think the ability to play doubles, that's primarily how pickleball is played, right? And so it's played, with mixed genders, same gender, right? It's done in mostly through doubles, and so I think it allows you to have smaller movements.
Sure.
Though pickleball injuries, they're here, but I think there's a great opportunity though for people to understand how to properly get on the court, how to properly recover the longevity, right? There's amazing benefits of pickleball and what it does for mental illness and the joy that it brings, but it's also a great workout,
Sure.
right? And so now I think this is why this EquiLife partnership is so important, because it's now how do you introduce things to your body that are going to help with longevity, help with recovery, and ultimately help you feel better, right? And I think that's why it's important that this partnership happened.
Well, it was what got me interested is so we have an executive in my company. I'm not gonna name her right now. I don't know that she wants to be named. She'll play pickleball for 2, 3+ hours at a time. And when I was like, oh, it's not a 20-minute, 30-minute game. Maybe you go for an hour or so. Oh, she's like, no, it is. But when someone's like, oh, do you want the next game or do you want to play again? There's this addictive quality. People will play, like I said, for a couple hours, 3 hours or so at a time. And so I said, it's really interesting. So if you are expending that much energy and you're predominantly, it's a racket type sport or one arm, you're going to want to work on certain things in order to recover.
Yeah.
And so I love that aspect to it, meaning that, you provide the amazing space. And how many courts are there actually at a Picklr? Because I know you help thousands of people and serve thousands of people at each location. But what does that look like in terms of courts and the number of people that you see?
Yeah. So it depends on the facility. So our smallest one is 7 courts. And then our largest one, which is our headquarters, which we're at today, is 15 courts, right? At any given time, I mean, Kaysville, we're probably seeing about 1,000 people come in through the location every single day, right? It's and growing, right? It's I said that this year was going to be the year that if you haven't gone, you won't go a week without hearing about your friends talking about pickleball, right? There's a reason why our franchise system, only 6 months in, and 100+ locations. We believe firmly by the end of the year we'll have 200, and next year it's getting them open, right? So we got to service more. There needs to be more courts. That's the biggest problem with pickleball right now, is there is not enough courts. And the unfortunate thing is cities have a difficult time. It's an expense. You have to find land, and then the noise ordinances, right, that come with it. And so I think we're helping solve a big problem too by trying to dot the country, because we don't have enough courts. And so the great thing is there is a need, and the Picklr is trying to do its part to do more courts, but it's anywhere from 7 to 15 courts right now. Our large ones in around, it's about 40,000 square feet, but our smallest one is 15,000, right? So a 7-court facility, you'd be surprised how much you're able to accomplish. That was our first facility we did. So you're able to accomplish quite a bit still with 7 courts.
No, I think it's amazing, especially with the popularity of it. You can have, just like you in Utah, especially with all the different locations, and you still are bringing through 1,000+ people a day. So I think it's fantastic. And like I said, on our end, we just want to help people be able to have the energy, reduce the inflammation, and work on the recovery so that they can do what they love, which is clearly playing, pickleball. And so the two, I think, just work phenomenally well. And I will say that I will be one of those people going into 2024 that will start playing pickleball, because I don't play yet. but I have a little bit of an addictive personality. And so I
Oh
like to be
man,
careful what I
that's
add
a
into the
slippery
routine.
slope. Then that's a slippery slope to
Very
get
slow.
into it, especially with no, it's amazing to get in. As I mentioned, the three pillars, right? Connecting, compete. The competition side. I don't know if Dr. Cabral, if you grew up doing any sports or any sort of competition, even as an adult, participating in marathons or triathlons or
Yeah.
whatever it may be, but there's something amazing about feeling those competitive juices again. As you know, I just turned 35 this year, and I'm feeling every bit of it, right? But
Yeah.
every once in a while to feel the competitive juices again is you know, it's an amazing feeling that sometimes you as a human being need to feel, right? And so it'll be great one day when me and you are playing in our first tournament
Yeah.
together, and you know that I think that's the fun aspect of pickleball that doesn't.
Oh, your sound just cut out for me.
Oh, there
There
you
we
go.
go. Yep. It just left off with that's one of the amazing things about pickleball.
Yeah, just being able to compete again, right? And
Yeah.
doing local tournaments. So yeah, again, I don't know if you grew up playing sports or do anything just
I did.
recreationally.
I'm always trying to be careful with you know, how competitive I like to get, because I do. I'm a competitor. I loved playing sports through high school. I did some intramural in college. I got more into weightlifting and all of that in college as well. But I love it, and especially since, like, I know that I'm not going to be a pro pickleball athlete, so I'm not competing for that. I'm competing like to have fun, and my doubles team, you know, that we go on and we win this match. But it's not, you know, this is not my I'm not my profession, so I can be okay with
Yeah.
with not being
Well,
the top one out there.
and then you add the team aspect now. There's you know, Major League Pickleball was created with a team aspect in mind, so it's a team of
Yeah.
four. So it you know, that even brings it even more fun. You bring a couple of your friends that play with you in a tournament, and it's amazing what environment is created when you're competing as a team too.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And we work with, you know what, we have not worked with a professional pickleball athlete yet, but we've basically worked with athletes in every major sport
Yeah.
and all around the world. So I have no doubt that we'll start seeing pickleball professional athletes, you know, in our practice as well.
And I think that's was the next big step for these professional pickleball players, right? They're starting to take care of their bodies. They're starting to take supplements and take recovery very serious. You're starting to see pickleball professionals travel with their trainers,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Right. And so that's that next step is, you know, I think last year there was around 28 stops. In 2024, there's going to be around 40 stops. So when you're traveling, and you really have to focus on recovery, and you're playing that often, it'd be great to get you in contact with some of these pro players because, again, longevity, right? And I'd
Sure.
love to even, you know, for you to talk about maybe some of the products that you know, I heard your story, and it's amazing as a 17-year-old to realize, you know, something is not right here.
Yeah.
And I think there's a time in when we all make that realization and say, hey, it's time to take care of myself, right? And you know what's it's the idea that you brought up where uh, I listened to something that you said, right? It's basically you're getting toxins out and replenishing your body with good stuff, right? And it's amazing, you know, how the body works when you treat it right.
That's right. And for most people, especially the competitive people playing pickleball and much more, you're always giving so much out. That's what I've learned over the years. So your energy is going out to your work, to then maybe exercise, strength training, and maybe cardio, and then maybe to playing pickleball. And the problem is, all of that's good, but as you start to get into your 30s and certainly 40s, you need to be taking back in more energy. And it's not
Yeah.
just calories through macronutrients, it's the micronutrients. It's certain amino acids, it's omega-3s, it's all of the things that your body uses for ATP production in the mitochondria and for fuel. And what I see a lot in pickleball is people are doing the sauna, they're doing cold plunges, they're doing massage. All of those things are phenomenal. So those are basically exogenous, external, working in. But what a lot of people aren't doing is working internal to out, which is the other half of the equation. So they're using electrolytes like sodium, potassium, maybe some calcium, magnesium in there. But that's replenishing a lot of the sweat and the minerals that you're losing. But what it's not doing is getting the zinc and the deeper levels of magnesium and the methylated B vitamins and the things that actually repair and produce more oxygen at a deeper level. So that's why at EquiLife, that's what we try to provide, just basic foundational, like the daily nutritional support, full activated multi, plant-based protein, because a lot of people are moving. They might not be all plant-based, but a lot of people are trying to be more plant-based. So it works for whether you're paleo or plant-based or whatever it might be. But it's also giving you a lot of those detox factors to help with the, well, basically it's liver support. I don't want to get too deep on this. And it works in phase 1 and phase 2 because there's so many heavy metals and environmental-based toxins. But things like a daily omega-3 support, the daily nutritional support, an activated B complex, these are easy things that anyone can take. And within 3 weeks, you'll feel the difference. Like you will feel a difference in your game. Keep everything else the same. But if you do those, you'll feel a difference within 3 weeks. And so that's basically what we try to share with people is that I used to work with a lot of high school athletes that were competing to get ready for the Olympics or get a college scholarship. And it was almost never, they weren't training hard enough. They were in the pool swimming 4 to 6 hours a day. They were rowing crew. They were doing all of these things. And it was, they either weren't getting enough sleep or they were not providing proper nutrition for their body. That was those were number 1 and number 2, because they still had homework and they went to bed late and they woke up early to work on their sport. And so it's like, these high school athletes getting 5 and 6 hours of sleep when they should be getting 9 to 10 hours in high school. And adults, we have 6 to 7 hours, maybe maximum people are getting, and they're just kind of eating good food, but on the run or too little. And so what I try to share with people is that good food, sleep, foundational, but add back in those micronutrients, you'll see a huge difference.
Yeah, no, amazing. You know, as an entrepreneur, the last 3 years, sometimes you lose focus on what's important, right? And taking care of yourself, getting enough sleep. You know, the phrase "I'll sleep when I die" is it's so misleading and it hurts you in the long run. And you know, it's I'm a father of 6 kids under the age of 10, so
good for you. Congratulations, it's amazing.
You know, thank you. I got an amazing wife, but just being able to prioritize yourself at times is, like I mentioned, right? Is there has to be a certain time in your life when you finally decide I have to take care of myself. It's impossible to take care of everything else that I need to when I'm not taking care of myself, right? And so this is why, you know, these products are amazing. You know, I tried the all-in-one protein powder that's your vanilla. I think there's maybe a while back there's a lot of misconception that pea protein or rice protein doesn't taste delicious. You guys have done an amazing job of creating something that actually tastes, you know, and I had it just with some oat milk and the powder. I didn't have to add a banana and mask it with other stuff. And so you guys have done an amazing job of making your stuff taste delicious as well.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And I grew up when I was sick, 17 years old, and unfortunately it took me 10 years to get well. For now, I teach people, you know, it should take no more than 4 to 6 months for most people to heal. But I hope, like so back in the day, I was saying all of the things taste terrible. Now, with the way that we're able to actually take the amino acid extracts from pea protein and a little bit of rice to make a complete protein, it's so much nicer. And it's also micronized, so you can just bring it with you, shake it up. You don't need a blender, and you're good to go. But what I will say is this, is that most of us wait until there's a health issue or there's an injury before we start taking care of ourselves. So preventative medicine or preventative health isn't as fascinating, isn't as interesting. But think about not being able to play pickleball for 6 months, right? Or not being able to pick up your kids because you have a back injury. It's like, take care of the things now. Yes, it's going to cost you a little bit in time and a little bit of money, but that's going to prevent you, or it's going to actually not prevent, it's going to allow you to do the things that you love longer. The whole "I'll sleep when I'm dead," you don't want to speed up that process, right? You don't want to speed up how quickly you die, right? So
we're here for longevity.
Get a little bit more sleep now.
No, it's just been amazing just to, again, you know, these last 3 years of really trying to focus on getting this business up and running and ensuring that the success of it. But,
Yeah.
now really prioritizing that, my health and, really getting back on track. It's just amazing to see what energy you wake up with and what you can accomplish when you have the right mindset. It's amazing the energy that you can have with your kids. I also coach my oldest daughter, in competitive soccer, and you could just tell the night and day difference of my attitude and my willingness to do the difficult things, right? And I think as human beings, my favorite quote right now is, the magic that you're looking for is in the work that you're avoiding, right? And so
Yeah.
I think a lot of us, we have to take a deep look inside and say, hey, what is it that I'm not doing? And when you figure that out, that's when the magic starts to happen, because you're starting to work on the things that you need to. And it finally came to that realization that something needed to change. So, it's something, your story resonated with me.
I appreciate that. I would love, I know that you just kind of are learning about EquiLife as well, just like I'm learning about the Picklr. I would love to send you a 7-day functional medicine detox to do in January.
I would love that.
We do a 20,000 plus person. Last year was close to 50,000 people from around the world doing it in January. I think it's January 11th or so, the second Monday, and or January 9th maybe. We'd love to have you a part of it. It is life changing. It is game changing.
Our whole team, our whole corporate office do it. I'd love for us to figure out how to do that. We started the year with 3 full-time employees. We're close to 60 now. So,
oh, wow.
I had the gentleman up from Boise here in our Kaysville office today, training our staff about all the products. And I said, hey, the way that people are going to be passionate about this is we all have to be on these supplements and really believe in them. And when people really figure out that it's helping them out, the passion to talk about them and to let people know about it is going to be there. So I would love to figure out how to get all of our employees to participate in that detox. And I have a feeling that everyone's going to feel a lot better after they're done with it.
That's great. Well, we have a free detox course. It's just at my website. Amazing. So people can check it out. So we'll get them, because once you know more about it, the education behind it, then you understand the why. And when you have a stronger why, you're more likely to follow through. And so that's what we want for people, is always education first, whether it's podcast, book, detox course. Start with the education, and there's 6 weeks before the new year, and then we have this big kickoff, and it's like a celebration, also a big commitment. And when you do have your corporate office or you have family and friends doing it together, what happens is when you're a little low one day, they'll pick you up, and vice versa. Yeah. But you know that you're not alone, that you're all doing it together. And that's the nice thing. And then if you don't have anybody, well, you get 20,000 to 50,000 people around the world, all going through the fasting, all going through the detox-based meals together, and it builds a lot of camaraderie. So it's amazing for centers like yours. I mean, I can't wait to get out there and first I need to work on my pickleball.
Well, we got a bunch of pros here in Utah that would love to give you a good foundation on the game. So like I said, we'll have you out here. It'd be amazing to show you the facilities and what we're cooking here at the Picklr. I keep seeing on the comments, Omaha, bring one to Omaha. We're promised we're coming. Omaha. We're coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're coming. I do want to talk about too, just so again, we're super excited about our partnership. We are doing a giveaway with you. So we have some amazing, we got to ask at the beginning, we got your all-in-one protein, your advanced collagen. If people are wondering how you got this amazing hair, no, I'm just kidding. But collagen will help with that. Some daily omegas, and then we're going to include a shaker with it. So
I didn't even know you guys were doing a giveaway too. So that's phenomenal.
Yeah, so we're going to do a giveaway. So anybody that comments on this IG Live, they follow EquiLife, the Picklr, and you'll be entered. We have 5 of these packs that we're going to send out. So, we're super excited about this partnership. A lot for us to learn. Just maybe to end this, any advice to somebody that plays pickleball that's really just trying to figure out how to create longevity, how to start this health journey along with this journey they are of pickleball. Would love some some wisdom from the man over here.
Yeah, no, I mean, so what I take it from is working with NFL athletes, PGA, you name it. And what I've realized over the years is that you basically need two major parts. One is that you need to have instruction, ideally from the beginning, of using proper biomechanics so that you don't get injured.
Yep.
And so, like, if you're pickleball is fun. I think that there's far less chance for injury. However, if you're not using proper technique, your chances for injury go way up. Swinging a golf club, it's not that heavy, but you swing it 100 times, 150 times in a range or so, or if I go out on the course, 100 plus times, what's going to happen is that if you're not in proper biomechanical alignment, far more likely to hurt your knee, your mid back, your thoracic spine, whatever it might be. So get good instruction. That's the first. But then the second half is that know your body and recover what you can. So if you start playing and you go from like sitting at a desk to then playing 2 hours of pickleball 5 days a week, maybe too much to start out. So start and build your body up. We call it a graduated exercise program. Because remember, you can play pickleball till you're 100 plus years old. And so start, ease into it, give your body good nutrition, you'll recover faster, and that will allow you to do what you enjoy even more. So that's really what it's about. And so that's why I think that this is a fantastic partnership. And really, I'm just trying to promote all the great things you're doing. I can't believe that you guys are going from 12 locations to 100 essentially franchises that you have. I believe it, but it's amazing. And so however we can help people on the recovery side, of course, we want to help them.
Amazing. Yeah, no, you're doing amazing work. I think we're going to do some amazing work together. So again, just the giveaway goes till Friday. Make sure you comment. Make sure you follow the Picklr, you follow EquiLife. We'll be announcing winners on Friday, but super excited to do the detox. Let's sync up after this and let's figure out, how to start the year off with a bang. So thank you for your time today.
I appreciate you. Thanks so much. Great meeting you as well.
Hey, you have a good
Take care.
one. All right, bye-bye.